Do you want 2025 to be your best year ever, especially in productivity, like to get the most done and the most significant stuff done? Well, I am being super loud right now. One, because I have to. There are so many people in that loft by me, but two, I am loud because we're all here for the Coach Builders Summit at StoryBrand frickin' headquarters. Some of you might have been in my Mastermind group where we read this book. Well, check that out. There's a whole stack of them. That's all that book. Oh, it's even in Chinese, bro.
Mandarin.
Look at that.
You have to read it backwards, y'all.
Yo, my gosh. But the book that I wanted to show y'all was this one. I just held it up upside down. Let me get to a quiet spot. All right, so here's the deal. Business owner, YouTuber, and actually YouTuber, you're a business owner too. The reason why it's hard to stay on task and productive sometimes, at least if you're like me, is because of one thing. It's because you've lost the mission. Now, when I say mission, probably a lot of you think super crappy corporate mission statements, and I do not blame you at all because mission statements tend to be corporate and they tend to be crap. But what this book beautifully does and how it has changed my life completely, the playbook here, it helps you live a life on mission, which is drastically different than making some BS mission statement. So let me rewind and tell you how you can put this into practice in your life. And I'm going to tell you the first and the most important step. But in the Bible, it says, there's a famous verse. It was the whole core of a very famous book called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, one of the OG motivational, get stuff done kind of books back in the day. It was built off of a Bible verse, my people perish for a lack of vision. It says in the King James Bible, people perish for a lack of vision. And I feel like if you feel like you're dying, because I've been there, even this year, I've been there, fam. We've lost the vision. That's what it's really about. We lost the vision. We gotta keep the vision front and center. I've been talking a lot about that for the business. This is that for life. And in fact, if you are in business, this is even more important because you can't see it, but back there is a gorgeous picture of the airplane from my favorite book, How to Grow Your Small Business. Well, who's piloting the plane? You, the person in the cockpit, flying the thing at the sticks, right? So, that being said, we need a clear vision. One of the most important points of this book is that your words matter, especially the words you say to yourself and you think to yourself, because they color and shape and form everything about you. I just saw on TikTok this wild video where parents were holding their babies close to the wall and then they bong, 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 hit the wall. And then they look at the baby, they're, oh my gosh, are you okay, poor baby? And the baby looks at them and it starts to cry just like it got hit, like it felt the pain, because those words affected so much. Well, guess what? Our brains are still baby brains, and the only difference is we're now talking to ourselves. So I'm not so woo-woo, but I do know this. The way you think about yourself, the words you use to describe yourself, yeah, they hecka matter. So that's where this comes in. And the first principle of this book is that your life is a story. The pen is in your hand. You have agency. I believe there's a God that made us and created us, but I also believe He gives us agency in how we write our stories. We have choices every day, and we live on the success and failure of those choices. Well, every day we can choose to be a hero, a guide, a victim, or a villain. And actually, that's written around the front of here on the four sides of this square here, if you can't see it. But the point of that thing is a lot of us live like victims. Life is happening to me. I can't stop stuff. I can't control stuff. So I'm freaking out because I have no control over it. And when we think of ourselves like villains or victims, which we might not say, oh, I'm a victim, but we act like one and we talk to ourselves like one. Well, guess what? There's some reality that starts to happen around that. We start to live that way because what we believe we are tends to shape what we does. What you be determines what you do. So that being said, another way around that is to be the hero. Now, the hero is a very interesting character. And the secret to being a hero in your life that doesn't mess around with their life and get stuck. You see a lot of movies where the hero is stuck in the first act of the movie. You look at guys like Iron Man. They're alcoholic, womanizing, lost, purposeless, drifting in life. And actually, if you feel that way, any or all of the above, good news, he's feeling like a victim, but he has a hero turn. Someone comes to him and tells him what he could be. In the first movie, it was the old man in the cave. In the second movie, it's Nick Fury. In the third movie, I cannot remember. It's not a memorable movie to me, but a good Christmas movie, mind you. That person put him on the path towards becoming a hero, to living for others, for doing heroic things. And that is part of living on a mission. That is the path out of living like life is happening to me. I don't have control. And when we live like that, guess what happens to productivity? Oh, life is happening to me. I have excuses rather than stuff that's getting done. And honestly, if you've been watching my channel at all, I do believe in the small wins. I do believe in the 1% better, but the victim can't even bring themselves to that. The hero makes small moves, and the small moves become a big movement all at once later. Maybe something really big happens and they're ready for it because they've been doing those little things. You think about the Rocky Balboa beating up meat in the fridge montage. That's that. And then he's ready to knock out Apollo Creed fight Apollo Creed in the last act. But you also see small incremental changes too in a lot of films and a lot of stories, a lot of novels. Guess what? That's the way I've been going my YouTube, right? A little at a time. There's big wins, but then there's setbacks, and we just keep fighting because we got that energy. Except where I really want to be is the guide. That's where I aim to be, and that's what actually makes a YouTube channel irresistible. It's not just makes a YouTube channel irresistible, it makes us hecka irresistible. Why? Because people see themselves as the hero of their stories, even if they're living with victim energy, if they're stuck in that rut. They're looking for a guide to help them get out of that mess into being the hero. And that's how we make that change and get even further. We give what we've received. We are blessed to be a blessing. It says in the very first book of the Bible, some even say that's the thesis of the Bible, at least the book of Genesis. Anywho, we want to get that guide part in our lives. But living like a hero, living like a guide, we are thinking about others at that point. And we are creating heroes. That's what guides do. The last part we could be in, though, that is a bad place to be. You could be very productive there, by the way, but you will not be productive in the right things. It's when you find yourself as the villain of the story. And that's what you do not want to be. Creating victims. The guide is to heroes as the villain is to victims. So how do you take a comprehensive look at your life and put yourself on the path to being a hero and a guide? That's why I came all the way to Nashville, to StoryBrand headquarters, to come to a conference where we are actually figuring this out for our businesses as coaches, but I would say for myself, for life. I am devoting my life to becoming a guide for small business owners and also just people. Marketing Made Simple. Look at this. It's all the books. You got StoryBrand on the other side here. We got that one. We got Business Made Simple. I promise I'm going to put these back. I'm not a slob. I've arrived at a very wonderful place. Blue Like Jazz, one of my favorite books. Unreasonable Hospitality, one of my favorite new books. I'm a kid in the candy shop here, but that's why I'm here at Nashville. And if you want to learn how to get that hero and that guide direction in your life, there is a link in the description. Tap that. I am starting a waiting list for a new kind of mastermind that I might do. If there's enough people that want in, I will do it 100%, but I'm just gauging, I'm testing the waters right now. So anyway, tap that next video, and next video here, find out more about how to get that direction. Get down there to figure it out with me live on a Zoom call, together with a lot of other purpose-driven people. I will see you in the next video.